Gentlemen, this is an article that came out in USA Today. Fentanyl, heroin, and painkiller prompt surge in opioid deaths in New York. And this is dated November 2nd, 2017, and I will leave the link to this article in the description box. The rise of the deadly synthetic opioid fentanyl is partially responsible for a newly reported spike in overdose deaths in Westchester County and other New York communities last year. The new state health department figures come after prior data suggested use of an antidote had actually reduced the opioid plague's death toll. While the new data reinforce widespread antidotes use, the rising death toll underscore the scope of the drug plague. The new reported overdose stats in New York also come as Trump's Opioid Commission recommended dozens of sweeping policy changes to curb the nation's drug addiction plague. For example, Westchester had 107 opioid-related deaths in 2016, according to the latest report. The prior state data reported in September showed 59 deaths. Increases in overdoses related to illicitly produced fentanyl and prescription pain pills appeared key to the revised drug death stats, the data show. Addressing questions about the surge in opioid deaths, the state health department officials focus on efforts underway to curb the drug crisis. The opioid and heroin plague is a national crisis that New York State is taking aggressive steps to combat, said Jill Montag, a health department spokeswoman, referring to a state law passed in 2016 that sought to address the plague. About $200 million is also being spent this fiscal year in New York to support for prevention, treatment, and recovery programs to address chemical dependency, expand residential service opportunities, and promote public awareness and education, Montag noted. Delays in overdose reporting linked to factors such as toxicology testing were responsible for substantially increasing the 2016 death toll from the prior report, the state records show. In Rockland County, the number of opioid-related deaths rose to 36, according to the latest report. In Putnam County, death toll increased to 15. Dutchess County reported 48 deaths. Statewide, excluding New York City, the overall number of opioid-related deaths were 1,879, up from 1,238 the prior report. The trend in fatal overdoses between 2015 and 2016 vary by county when comparing the newly reported figures. For example, Westchester's 107 opioid-related deaths in 2016 increased from 83 in 2015. By contrast, Dutchess County saw a decline in opioid-related deaths to 48 from 57. Rockland's death toll to 36 from 27 the same period, and from Putnam had 15, up from 13. Statewide, excluding New York City, the number of opioid-related deaths increased to 1,879 from 1,520. That is a rate of 16.7 deaths per 100,000 population in 2016, up from the 13.5 death rate in 2015. The Federal Commission called on Congress and the Trump administration to take more than 50 specific steps it said would result in expanded treatment, stronger prevention, and saved lives, USA Today reported. Our people are dying, and this is Chris Christie, 175 per day, every day, are dying in the United States from this plague. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, chairman of the Opioid Commission, said. All right, so, that was actually in my article, my video that I did yesterday. The annual death toll from drug overdoses soared from 36,450 in 2008 to 64,000 in 2016. Deputy U.S. Attorney General Rod Rosenstein wrote in USA Today's report, on average, 7 Americans die of a drug overdose every hour. Wow. Oof, man. That number's going up. As a result, death overdose is now the leading cause of death for Americans under the age of 50. Oh, well, so much for them using that black-on-black crime, huh, y'all? Yeah, right. Nearly 2/3 of 2015 drug-related deaths in the United States involve opioid drugs. The causes of pharmaceutical painkiller drugs such as oxycodone, well-known illegal drugs such as heroin, and new synthetic drugs such as fentanyl. Addressing the drug plague, federal officials recently announced for the first time deaths from synthetic opioids, primarily fentanyl, have surpassed the number killed by prescription opioid painkillers. Fentanyl, in all its many forms, is a synthetic opioid that's popular on the streets because it offers a powerful high that surpasses that of heroin, USA Today reported. And I told you, and all that fentanyl is coming from China, ladies and gentlemen. That's where it's coming from. Fentanyl is also laced into other drugs sold on the streets, where unsuspecting buyers might not even know what they're using. That's one reason people across the country are dying from fentanyl and similar compounds at the rate of 55 each day. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it looked like New York is just like many other places across the country that are succumbing to this plague that has hit America, and it doesn't have not 1 ounce of ending in sight. Please tell me what you think in the comments section, and don't forget to hit on that notification bell. Peace, family.